Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Locker Room, our weekly podcast where we shine a light on all of the student athletes here in the Bayou region. Happy to have you here with us on this November 24th. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. And when you're getting ready for Thanksgiving, that means round 3 of the high school football playoffs. And we do have a couple of teams that are advancing to that round. That would be Vandebilt Catholic and E.D. White Catholic, both in Division II Select. And we'll talk a little bit later with the head coach of the Vandebilt Catholic Terriers, Brian Wallace, on their big win against Carver, which was this past Friday, and their big matchup against Lake Charles College Prep this upcoming Friday. Good to have you in with us. Stan Gravois here, my trusty guy, Dustin there. Today, Monday, November 24th is...
It's Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day, Stan.
Celebrate your unique talent.
What is your unique talent?
Unique talent. From a introspective point, I don't think there's anything unique about any of the talents I have. So,
See, I agree with you. Not with your talents, but my talents. I feel like most of my talents, a lot of other people have my talents as well.
Well, the problem is when you think you have a talent, you compare that talent with other people who have that talent.
Yes.
And there's some people who are ultra talented at what I think is my talent. I didn't mean to get into all of the psychological, warfare on this.
Yes.
But that being said, I know some people are. The one thing I would say that might be unique about me is that most people who are sports type people are not artsy type people. And I was that guy who loved art and I loved sports, and they don't commonly go together. I mean, my biggest thrill on a Friday when I was in the high schools doing my art was to go in the middle of the football field and paint a big logo for the game that night. So I kind of got my fill during the day of art, and then at night it was a little bit of sports.
So that worked out.
It worked out really well. By the way, you had a trip to Los Angeles last week. Speaking of arts, how did that work out?
I did indeed. It was very rainy. In fact, we only got about 4 hours of sunshine.
But it never rains in Southern California.
That's what they say in the song, but apparently...
When it pours, it pours.
It pours. Oh, it poured. So, yeah, it was a great trip, but, despite the rain, I'll say
Any thoughts of ever living in Los Angeles? Because you edit, you do video type production.
It was nice being around, like we went to a film festival there, and it was nice being around other creative people who do similar things. That was nice. But I do not see myself living there, no.
I see. Usually when I'm around that, like a festival that's celebrating, I would call it visual art. Sometimes I look at the people and go, am I like that? Is that what I'm like or whatever? But anyway, no, I know.
No, yeah. But I think what we do here on this podcast is we celebrate the unique talent of our athletes and our coaches.
Absolutely.
And so, I thought it fit.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm very appreciative of Terrebonne General for allowing this sort of format to do that. Anything we can do, anybody out there. Sometimes we have Casey Driscoll. So happy with what he does. Chris Singleton's getting in the game where he's doing things. So happy for what he does. The Homer Courier and the Comets doing a little. Happy for anything they can give to promote these student athletes. And we got to get to it. As I mentioned, we have 2 teams that are still in the football playoffs going forward. I do want to say this before we get to that just real quick. Congratulations to Homer Christian's boys cross-country team. State championship last week. First state championship in that school's history. Wow. Awesome, awesome job. Wendy Delgado does a terrific job with that group, so congratulations to them. And a huge congratulations to the E.D. White. Get this, folks. They won 4 state championships last week. They won boys swimming, Division III, girls swimming. Then you go to Division II cross country. They won boys cross country state championship and girls cross country state championship. I have a friend who works at the LHSAA in Baton Rouge. Actually, he used to. He doesn't anymore. And I called him and said, do you ever recall in your history of working for the Louisiana High School Athletic Association, a school winning 4 state championships in a week? And he said, I never thought about that. And he called me back a little bit later and said, I went and looked back. I've never heard of this before. So again, congratulations to E.D. White. And if you're saying, well, wait a minute, how did Homer Christian win a state championship in cross country boys and E.D. White? They don't participate in the same division, folks. I mean, schools are different sizes. So you get sort of categorized by the size of your school. So again, congratulations to all of those. Got to move on. Again, so lucky to have Coach Brian Wallace of Vandebilt with him. Let's get to that interview. Very happy to be joined by Brian Wallace, head coach of the Vandebilt Catholic Terriers, who had a terrific outing on Friday night, taking care of George Washington Carver. Coach, so good to have you here with us. How are you doing? And tell us a little bit about what the weekend was like after that big win.
We're doing great. We just got back to work on Saturday. Got the kids in here. Obviously, we lift and watch film, and just got our mentally and physically prepared for practice on Thanksgiving, which is a blessing.
Talk a little bit about the game. Did it play out like you thought it would? Obviously, you watched film on Carver all week, and there are certain things you tried to achieve along the way. You got out to a point where you could have a running clock, quite honestly, in this one. So talk about a little bit of the ebb and flow of the game and how you thought it played out.
Yeah, I thought that the kids executed the game plan very well. We came out, started fast. Obviously, we wanted to receive the football because I felt offensively we wanted to start fast. And, we scored on our first 7 possessions of the ball game, which was very pleasing to see. And then defensively, I thought we did a good job in taking the ball away. We had 6 takeaways in the game. So we were able to really neutralize with their run game, which we thought they did very well. And then when they tried to throw it, we were able to, get 3-4 interceptions, which was very pleasing. And I thought we did a really good job on special teams in terms of creating advantageous field position. And really, I think they got some dangerous returners, and we did a good job covering those guys and getting them down. So very pleased with how well the kids executed the game plan. I thought the coaches did a great job with our preparation for the weekend show Friday night.
I was about to ask you a question, but I'm actually not going to ask you a question. I'll let you sort of finish the statement. I was going to say this is a step up in competition this upcoming week with Lake Charles College Prep. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes. Lake Charles College Prep is a very good program. Obviously, they have a season where they're 9-2. They're doing very well. They have some really good athletes. I think they're very well coached. And I think that they do a good job executing their game plans week in and week out. So I think it's going to probably be one of our tougher matchups of the year, one that I know that our kids will be prepared for.
We talked about commonality, finding that, those teams on your schedule that may have had some commonality. There's not a whole lot. We're talking about a team that's way out in West Louisiana, although you did play Sulphur early on, just not a lot of things to compare it to, right?
No, we kind of looked at their schedule. The only thing really that was really close was maybe their St. Louis Catholic game, because St. Louis Catholic played Sulphur earlier in the year and beat them. So that was really kind of the only comparison. Obviously know some coaches in that area and in the Lafayette area who they played, so got to talk with them and everything like that. But really, other than that, there's really no common denominators.
Talk about the health of your team. It looked like it was all good and smooth sailing, and you've had a chance to play some younger kids, quite honestly, on Friday night. Are you healthy?
Very healthy. For going in for, a quarterfinal game, all of our starters are 100% and ready to go. And I know I always say it, but I just can't say enough about our athletic trainers and our strength coaches, and I think that's a big reason for the health of our team.
Also, talk a little bit about the situation of where you play. If I'm not mistaken, Lake Charles College Prep does not have their own stadium. They sort of are a nomad team that just looks and finds places. Do y'all know anything yet?
Not yet. Hopefully to find out today. I know the chances are that we're going to hopefully play at Sam Houston High School. They played there. They've played at Westlake, a couple games at Eunice. So waiting to hear word on today. Obviously it'll all be in the Lake Charles area. So we have an idea, but we'll hopefully have some definites later this afternoon.
And speaking of, obviously, Lake Charles Prep, who is that team that we all have our eyes on, what is it? What do they do well? If I'm going out there to Lake Charles to watch you guys play them, not so much about you, because we know what you guys do well. What do they do well?
Offensively, they run the ball really well. They have a really good athlete. Number one, he's a running back, wide receiver, probably from my understanding, one of the fastest kids in the state. I think he's a 2-time track champion. And they're in multiple ways. They line them up at slot receiver, they line them up at quarterback, at running back. They're very diverse in their offense, but they want to establish the run game. They have a big offensive lineman, left tackle, and they have some good athletes. So that's what they want to do. And then they'll mix in obviously some play action passes. They have good athletes out wide. So we have to go in and we have to stop the run game. Defensively, they play a lot of cover one. They're athletic at defensive back. They got some twitchy guys on the defensive line at linebacker. So they want to create some havoc in the backfield. So we got to be able to, establish our run game, have some ball control, continue to move the chains. And then we got to win our one-on-ones on the perimeter at wide receiver. It's going to be some good matchups. And then special teams wise, they're very solid. But I talk to them. That's where it's got to be advantage tiers in the special teams with the way we cover. We got to be able to create some advantageous opportunities in field position on Friday night.
Interestingly enough, you don't hear of this very much. The headmaster / principal there, because it is a prep school, is a Dr. Harrison. And last night, we're trying to make it happen where we could bring back radio to the folks here in Terrebonne Parish in the Houma area related to game action from that night. Not only is he the principal and the headmaster, he's an assistant football coach, and, well, he's a doctor because he's Dr. Harrison. I know that. Yeah. And he's the athletic director. So it's kind of interesting because their coach there, who he has to look up to his principal headmaster as far as those things I guess he can and can't do sometimes. So I'm sure it's an interesting dynamic along the way. Have you ever come across that before? I know it's a short period of time in the high school level, right?
I don't know if I've come across one that is wearing that many hats. I'd like to see that business card though. It's probably, the size of one of them giant checks or something like that. But
I just thought it odd, Coach, because if you had, say, Jeremy Gildner on your staff right now, yeah, that's an interesting dynamic. I do want to tell everybody out there this too. I owe you 2 big old apologies. The second one you don't even know, but the first one was last week. I had actually asked Coach Wallace to come out to Sports on the Bayou, the weekly program on Tuesday, where it's about the Saints and it's about LSU and it's about Nicholls State. But obviously we want to shine a light on a program. And I told him the wrong date and he went on the wrong date. Again, I get to apologize publicly.
Well, great.
The other one, and you're going to giggle at this one, I did not take into consideration you guys are not in school today. So I thought it was a deal where you could pop in at 9 o'clock and give me a couple of minutes while y'all were in school. But I'm sure you mentioned it. Y'all in staff there getting ready for the game, right?
Yeah, no worries at all. We got the kids in. We had breakfast this morning at 7:30, got some lifts and some meetings, and then we'll be on the practice field about 10 o'clock. So all good. It fits into the schedule. So I just appreciate you guys and all you do.
Real quickly, what happens on Thanksgiving Day? How's the practice schedule for Thanksgiving Day and even Friday heading out to West Louisiana?
So Thanksgiving Day, we'll get in 7:30, have just some quick 30-minute meetings. And then we have our, I call it's more of a walk-through practice, which lasts about 30, 45 minutes, and then they're done for the day. Thanksgiving is a special holiday to me for family, and just to give thanks for everything that God has graciously given us. So I want the kids to be able to spend the day with their families, eat as much as they can. And then Friday, depending on where we'll play, we'll depart here probably around 1 o'clock, noon, just depending on what our facility setup will look like. But it'll just be a normal Friday. Luckily enough, we made the trip to Sulphur in week 3 this season. So we have a very similar itinerary. The kids are already adjusted to it. So it kind of worked out that we already kind of done this road trip before, which is going to be in our favor.
Makes sense. Listen, you mentioned it. It's always good to be playing during Thanksgiving. if you're a high school program in the state of Louisiana. Congratulations on the success this far, and we certainly wish you luck on Friday night.
Thank you, Stan. I greatly appreciate it, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Always nice to have Coach Wallace with us. He is so giving of his time. They have a big one, as we were talking about, this upcoming week against Lake Charles College Prep, a relatively new school. Started with all freshmen in 2014. Then in 2015, those freshmen moved up to sophomores. Then in 2016, those kids moved up to juniors, and that's how they sort of started this school. And it's got some of the better athletes from all around Calcasieu Parish. So that's going to be a tough one for Vandebilt, but I think Vandebilt in a really good situation. Again, that's this Friday night. Thank you, my friend, for taking care of us with all of this. And
Thank you,
wishing
Stan.
everybody a happy, I already forgot it.
Thanksgiving.
Well,
Oh, wait,
Thanksgiving,
no,
obviously on Thursday. but-
Thanksgiving's Thursday. No, today was Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day.
So everybody who you celebrate your unique talent, go out and do something unique today within like borders, like follow the rule, right? But I hope you have a very, very unique day today. We'll see you next week. Again, hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.